Hiya, good morning guys. Welcome to my Compound Life. This is a channel where we build assets, we build great habits to manage all of our assets, and of course we build freedom, and that should really be financial freedom as well as time freedom for you and I and anyone else that watches my video. This is another episode of, you guess it, Bitcoin Daily. Okay, so as of time recording, it's the 31st of December 2025. I hope all of you are having a great New Year's Eve day and will eventually lead on to New Year's Eve party. Whew, it's very, very cold right now in the morning, about 7:54 at the time of recording. Yeah, so a long day ahead today, so I'll probably need to drive back to West Midlands in Birmingham from London around midday today, and then have to do all the buying stuff for the party tonight, and which, by the way, I might not have time to make a video tomorrow because I'll be so hangover. I don't think I can make a video, but we'll see, right? So watch this space, so please hit the like, hit subscribe, turn on notification, and yeah, I do drop a video on Bitcoin almost every single day. And of course, do follow me on X. My handle will be my Compound Life. Yeah, and I'll see you soon. Okay, so back to Bitcoin Daily. Let's talk about price action for Bitcoin. Right now, Bitcoin is trading at around 88,500. In the past 24 hours, it went up a small 1% to 1.5%. Okay, so not as huge of a swing anymore. Starting from about 88,000, hitting a high near 89,300 and low around $87,200. The market feels a bit better with some buy coming back, but still slow because year-end is, year-end holidays coming. So I don't anticipate much trading or investing today, tomorrow, or even the 2nd or 3rd of December, and then eventually we'll go into weekend, right? So very, very slow, thin liquidity price action for Bitcoin we anticipate. But certainly, I did look at the daily charts, the 4 days chart. It does seem Bitcoin is coiling up and about to have a breakout, right? So that's positive. I don't think any of us like that side chart feeling for that long of a period of time, right? So knowing that there will be a breakout coming, whether it goes up or down, we do not know yet, but at least, we are seeing, well, we do hope to see lights at the end of the tunnel. If it does break up, if it goes down, I guess it's pound cost average, accumulation time. But anyway, fear and greed index, we have gone back to extreme fear this morning, right? I think a lot of it is mainly due to the GDP data. So we are back to the extreme fear zone of about 20. Yesterday we were at around 25, right? So total for the past 7 days, 6 days of fear, and today it's extreme fear. Okay, so not looking good, but the fact that we are still coiling up, so that kind of makes me look forward to Bitcoin price. Quick look at ETF. Okay, as the 30th of December, yesterday's data, Bitcoin was bullish. It had received $355 million worth of inflow, right? So that's good. So for this week, Monday and Tuesday, for this week, it's bullish week with approximately 355 million worth of Bitcoin inflow. But overall, December still bearish. Okay, so for the whole of December, we had an outflow of approximately 744 million US dollars, right? If you think this is bad, I mean, compare that to November last month, it was even more bearish, with an outflow of $3.4 billion. So it makes December looks like nothing, to be honest. Okay, so moving on to Ethereum. Ethereum, yesterday it was bullish. One day, single day alone, it received $68 million worth of inflow for Ethereum. So making it a total for this week, Monday plus Tuesday, data to be bullish with 58 million worth of inflow. Okay, so moving on to Solana sold ETF. So again, very strong yesterday, had received approximately $5.2 million worth of inflow. So this week, Monday and Tuesday, has given Sol overall this week worth of $8 million inflow. So almost all bullish inflows weeks essentially for Solana. So that's good. At the time of recording, December Bitcoin month, the monthly return, December continued to be negative at 2.21%. Will we close December with neutral, right? I hope so. At least just just break even, right? Or give a 0.1 positive return, right? That's what I'm hoping, but I guess not. Okay, so let's quickly look at Bitcoin annual return for 2025, right? Overall, it's bearish, returning us negative 5.33% return. So give you some context how great Bitcoin was for 2024. It was very, very bullish, returning us 121%. And for 2023, it was even more bullish, returning us approximately 155%. Okay, so it's negative now, 5.33%. It's actually not too bad, right? If you have gone into Bitcoin earlier, like 2022 or even 2021, right, you are holding essentially, near 300%. Okay, not 300%, but near to 300%. 300% worth of return. So looking at 2025, we only had a slight dip of 5.33%. So that's actually not too bad. And of course, Bitcoin is definitely one of the best top performing assets. We spoke about other asset class for metals, let me quick check, like top performing metals for 2025, right? Silver is only returning 134%, platinum 133%, and gold returning us 73% for 2025, right? So essentially, Bitcoin is doing that in 2 years, consecutive years alone, right? For 2024, 2023. So bear that in mind. We are not in that of a terrible situation for Bitcoin. Okay, so bear that in mind. Don't sell. Now's not the right time to sell. Keep hodling. Just wait for a little bit long. I think there will be more upside. or there'll be some downside leading on to more upside. But of course, I don't have, I cannot tell the future. So potentially, we could still, we are, I kind of felt, technically speaking, we are in a bear market, or we are about to enter a bear market. So there will definitely be more upside much later in the year. Okay. So implication, looking at just the price action, short-term neutral to bullish, small ups and downs, mainly due to, the holiday period, right? And not many investors, traders are still trading. So in a way, not much news is good news. But at the same time, I kind of felt that Bitcoin is kind of, in a way, coiling up. Don't you see the price action for the past couple of days? It's kind of coiling up in a way. It is leading to a breakout, right? So will it break out higher or lower? We shall see. Okay, so give it another few more days. I think by January come, when traders, investors are back into the action, we will definitely see whether we'll break up higher or lower, right? Moving on to Bitcoin news. News that moves Bitcoin price. Okay, so US GDP data came out. It's the US Q3 GDP data. It grew approximately 4.3%, definitely much higher than people expected at 3.3%. So background GDP means how much US economy grow, right? And high number really show business people are spending money. Okay, so what does that actually mean? Well, strong economy can make US Fed bank think twice about cutting rate. So it's kind of negative leading onto positive, so it's kind of like bearish for Bitcoin that will eventually lead on to a more bullish Bitcoin, because with such data, it can indicate Fed not to cut interest rate sometime in January, because they'll think that economy is growing, economy is good, right? But at the same time, with such data, it's actually positive for investors, for Wall Street. They'll be thinking, you know what? It's indicating that there are growth, people are spending money, and people are getting more comfortable. So that's why the tendency of or the willingness to put their money forward for more high risk on assets like Bitcoin, less of gold, silver, more onto Bitcoin, onto AI stocks and shares, etc. So that's something we need to look forward to. And of course, at the time of announcement of the GDP grew on 30th of December, Bitcoin immediately fell to about 87,000. So we kind of see, what kind of immediate impact it has on Bitcoin. And of course, things that will move Bitcoin prices also include year-end tax sale. Many people sell Bitcoin for tax loss harvesting towards end of year. This practice mainly applies in the US, not in the UK. So UK viewers, these are perks that we don't actually get in the UK. But it's more of a FYI, letting you guys know, why Bitcoin price is, what it is right now. Other news, okay, this is an interesting one. This is a pretty hot one, okay? So I'm not sure whether you guys are aware of it. It's the news about Bitcoin flash move, okay? Bear with me, I'm not talking about flash crash or flash dip. I'm just talking about flash move, okay? So Bitcoin briefly traded at 24,000 USD on Binance. It's on the Binance and USD1 pair. Okay, so If you trade mainly on USDT, USDC, you wouldn't experience this, but on Binance itself, if you trade on the pair of Bitcoin, BTC with the USD1 pair, you will kind of experience this. And very likely if you hold spot, you won't experience this at all, right? So did any one of you guys that trades on Bitcoin with USD1 pair and somehow you manage to catch on and buy Bitcoin at the dip, right? At a very, very good price? Let me know in the comment. Drop a comment, let me know. You're a legend. So background, flash crash. Okay, let me rephrase. So not flash crash, right? Flash move, right? So not a crash, just a dip or a move, right? Means sudden price change from low trade volume, thin liquidity that make it easy or extreme swing. So it feels like another manipulation because of such a fast dip. This time report say about $66 million worth of long bet liquidated in about a matter of 45 minutes on that pair, on the Bitcoin and USD1 pair. Okay, so it really shows market can be very, very unstable, especially when you're trading on longs and shorts. So as long as you're on spot, you're fine, right? Often from bug or low buy, sell, thin liquidity, whales, OG, market makers can just come in and swoop in, right? So be careful out there, guys. And of course, such news aren't always great because it scares traders, right? Of course, it doesn't affect BTC on USDT, BTC on USDC, BTC on DAI, etc., right? But it's still frightening because, of the huge liquidation effect, right? So take note of that and be safe, stay safe out there. Moving on into other interesting news section. This one is good. Grayscale, right? Grayscale file application, right? Grayscale file with SEC for for something new, right? Maybe an ETF or a new product. So background, Grayscale, they're a big crypto company that manage funds for Bitcoin Trust. And to give you even more more kind of background, I think this is kind of like a very, very strategic move for Grayscale to come up with new products specifically for Bitcoin. I'm not sure whether you guys remember this. Back for a long while, I think that was last year, Grayscale GBTC is an old Bitcoin fund that used to be the only way for many big investors to buy Bitcoin through a trust. Okay, so that was through a trust and not ETF. Bear that in mind. So in January 2024, the SEC approved new spot Bitcoin ETFs, essentially for BlackRock, Fidelity, and so forth, right? So these new ETF have much lower fees, around 0.2% to 0.3% per year. And GBTC at that time, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, through a trust, I mean by buying Bitcoin through a trust, offered that at a fee of around 1.5%, right? So that's why for a short period of time, a lot of people decided to leave GBTC. So many investors moved their money from GBTC to cheaper new ETF, of course. So this caused a very large outflows from GBTC. Grayscale had to sell a lot of Bitcoin to give the money back, essentially. So these are some of the time that has pretty peak outflow happened in January to March 2004. When billions of dollars actually left GBTC. So And of course, I think these are great new products that they're rolling out, although GBTC continue to offer Bitcoin through a trust. They, of course, certainly did reduce the fee much later in 2025. But in a way, they simply just need new product. So I do deem this as long-term bullish. It's gonna make the ETF market to be much more competitive, as more players are offering Bitcoin ETF. With more competition, they would be leading onto lower fees, rates, onboarding more members, to join, so essentially more of the customers from GBTC, they will eventually be exposed onto Bitcoin ETF or alternate products that Grayscale is offering. So yeah, I think overall it will all be bullish. So yeah, I think that's it for today. Overall, I think we'll just have to wait and see. It does seem Bitcoin is coiling up. There will be a breakout soon, and we'll see how we go. So happy New Year's Eve, guys. If I don't see you tomorrow, I just want to wish you all a Happy New Year. Have a very, very successful new year ahead, for 2026. Wishing you and your family the best of success for 2026. Okay, so I'll see you soon. Bye. Hit like, hit subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you're my new subscribers too. Thank you. Bye bye.